Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Adulting with Dion, where we try to clear some doubts about adulting. Grab a drink, take a seat, and let's begin. Today, let's talk about national service. Today's episode, there will be a lot of acronym, because that's how people talk in the army. Yeah, so just a little heads up. Yeah, I will be explaining them. So yeah, we end off the previous episode from finishing my polytechnic education. After I graduate, I actually planned for a overseas trip from Singapore all the way to Hanoi, and that is via train. So that's where I first got the idea of traveling across the world via train. Yeah. If you're following me on Lemonade, you will probably know that I wanted to do this train trip from Singapore to London. This is where it came about. So unfortunately, I did not go for this train trip, Singapore to Hanoi, because my enlistment letter came. Yeah, it came like 2 weeks before my graduation, and then I was supposed to be enlisting, I think maybe 1 month or 3 weeks after my graduation. So instead of the train trip, I went for a very last minute Hong Kong trip with my friend Lauren. Okay, she is very sporting to come with me on this trip. Yeah. Before we begin, I just want to say that I genuinely enjoyed my national service. I was not mistreated or I was not bullied by anybody. So one of the reasons why I enlisted earlier compared to the other people, because I failed my NAFA test. When you fail your NAFA test, which is supposed to be taken before you enlist, at your respective schools, you have to be enlisted earlier, or 2 months earlier, and you'll be enlisted into this program called PTP, which is physical training phase. You get an additional 2 months of BMT, okay, so basic military training, which is a standard 2 months. So for me, it was 4 months. But honestly, no regret for going to this early enlistment, because I was not very fit back then. Actually, I was not fit at all. Yeah. I remember I did the NAFA test in Singapore Poly, and I did the static stations, which is push up, sit ups. Yeah. Then I'm not sure if it was the NAFA test where you have to do the sit and reach and stuff, but I don't think so. After the static station, it was supposed to be the 2.4 run, but I was so sure that I was gonna fail, so I just skipped the run and just went home. So my polytechnic graduation, it was at April 2017, and I enlisted in May 2017. So actually, I went in with an open mind, just to do my best, and then experience national service just like any other man would do. So what's good about the PTP program is that they train you up, they train your body up, so that you can pass. Eventually, you can pass IPPT. Because that's the benchmark, that's the minimum. You have to pass IPPT. IPPT is Individual Physical Proficiency Test. So I got enlisted and I got put into Wolf Company, okay, Wolf Koi. I would say it's a chill yet strict company. There are times we will do crazy things during training, but we still get welfare sometimes. I love that the building, the company, is the closest to the ferry terminal. So you don't have to march as far, or we don't have to walk as far, unlike those in school 4. Is it school 4? I think I'm in school 3 if I'm not wrong. So yeah, we don't have to march a lot when we book in and book out. So when I started my BMT training, I didn't really have any goals, of being an officer or being a leader. But being in a male-dominated industry, I just wanted to do my best, help other people, help my peers. Yeah, I think it is pretty natural for me to take the lead and help others. Being the prefect and student council, so I guess helping people comes naturally to me. But there are also times where there are people, where there are crazy people who are quite weird. It's in BMT where I meet the weirdest, craziest, out of this world people. There was once during water parade during BMT, this guy forgets to bring his water bottle. Okay, it is probably the most important thing other than your 11B. 11B is your IC. You replace your normal IC with 11B. So that is your new IC. So this guy forgets to bring water bottle for like the first parade. First parade is basically where you take attendance and then you start your day, you know. And then he didn't find out until we started the water parade. Everybody is in attention and we are holding our bottles up already, you know, and then this guy is like looking for things, and then so we have to hold this position and wait for the guy to go up to level 4. He was in like platoon 4, so he was at level 4 to get his water bottle, but then all the rooms are all locked. Okay, so he has to go and get the key first, then run up, go get the bottle and come back down. Very simple process, I would say. But then he went up, he came down empty-handed. So we were in attention, we were like, what is happening? Why is he not carrying his water bottle? Is he like lost it, he cannot find it? Or like what is happening? And then he came down, right? Like he was rushing, then he looked at us. Then he like he almost like as if he forget something. He forget his water bottle. I don't understand. You went up to get a water bottle but came down without the water bottle. What's happening? So he ran back up to his room, to the room to get a water bottle. So this time, the second time he came down with the water bottle. I don't know, maybe he didn't find it or something. But then I guess when you're stressed out, there is a possibility that people do like lose their minds a little bit and they just like can't think properly. So like there are a lot of cases like that, you know, when you're getting screamed at and people don't know how to reply, and then they will give you some weird answer, and then you're like, what? If you're enlisting soon, this will be a perfect video for you. And I remember when it came close to the end of BMT, my sergeant, or it's a standard procedure I guess, you ask everybody to lower their head and then ask us a few questions. Yeah. So he proceeded to ask, who here wants to be a sergeant after BMT? Raise up your hand. I didn't raise up my hand. Yeah, because I didn't want to become a sergeant. Then he proceeds to ask, who here wants to become an officer after BMT? So I was like, me, I want to become an officer when I finish my BMT. Then he asked, who here don't mind being either or, you know, either sergeant or officer? I didn't raise up my hand. I was determined that I want to become an officer. I do not want to become a sergeant. I don't know. I think it's not about the power. It's not about the authority. Maybe it's about the money. So like as an officer, you get paid more, maybe a few $100s more. I'm not sure. I forgot about it already. But then I guess it's also about the welfare that you get. It is very different when you commission as an officer. So during BMT, I thought about it, and then I was like, I don't want to be a sergeant. I wanted to be an officer. If I don't get to be an officer, I don't want to be anything. Yeah, so that was the mindset, I guess. Yeah, so like back then, so I went through like PTP and BMT, right? So by the end of it, I was like, you know what, if I was up to the standard of being an officer and they might pick me as an officer, you know, why not? So when I eventually POP is a passing out parade where we graduate from being a recruit. I did not have my POP at the floating platform. It was at the Sergeant Training School, the Specs Training School. Yeah. One good thing about that is that we don't have too much all the way to the floating platform and then graduate from there. So for us, we just do the march, went back home one day, and then the next day we turn up at the Specs Training School, and then we just POP from there. So not so tired. Yeah. So after POP, you do get a little break, I think 1 or 2 weeks. So after that, my OCS letter came. I was like a little bit shocked. I know like I picked officer only, but then when the letter came, I was like, oh my god, they actually selected me to be an officer. And then when the letter came, right, because I had forgotten about the form already by then in my head I was like, why did they do that? Because when we were filling up the form, it was before we take our last IPPT, And then in my head I was like, okay, so if I get a good IPPT, then maybe they'll choose me, right? But then I didn't get silver. I just passed. I passed. So I think 60 mark is the passing mark. I got like 64 or something. So I was like, why did they choose me? Like I was 4 points above the passing mark. So like, okay, whatever they say, you have to do it. Okay, you're just a number, you're just a soldier, you just follow instructions. So the first day of OCS, I arrived at SAFTI-MI. SAFTI-MI stands for Singapore Armed Forces Training Institute. MI stands for Military Institute. I don't understand why is that so. It is SAF Training Institute, Military Institute. So it is Tutu Institute. Don't know why. So the first day, everybody booked in with their number 4. So number 4 is basically the uniform. So we have number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1 is for like official events where we commission. We went number 1. Number 2 is also for official events, but I think when you sit down and have to like dine, it's number 2. Number 3 is like office, I think, if I'm not wrong. Then number 4 is your standard army wear, your army green uniform. So we booked in that. I don't know why, but SAFTI is designed in a way that is freaking far. Like everything is freaking far. Where by the time I reached the hall for like to book in, I was sweating already. I was like, oh my god, not the first day and I'm already sweating. And I remember I bumped into Wen Xuan, one of my poly friends, at the gate. And then I was like quite nervous. I don't want to go in so early. So I was like, I see you inside. I waited for a little bit, like calm down, calm my nerves. And then I went in. Because OCS is not a joke. Anyways, OCS it is split into 3 terms in like 9 months, but it's not 3 months each. So one term is basically one period, okay, and then they are for different purposes. So it is a service term, professional term, and then joint term. First service term is 3 months, professional term it is 5 months, and then joint term is around 3 weeks. Yeah. So service term is where they introduce you to army, where your leadership, the very foundation, and then professional term is where they send you to your specialization. You have your armor, engineering, your signals, things like that. Then joint term is everybody come back together, and then we graduate together, go for rehearsals, for commissioning parade, and things like that. The first two weeks is the most stressful. It is said to be the most stressful. It was the most stressful for me because I almost quit. I think it was the 3rd day or like during the first week. In the first 2 weeks is the initiation phase. So they grill you, like they really grill you, and then they go crazy, like mentally, physically, and like I almost give up. Because I was merely like passing my IPPT, I was not getting silver, not close. And then I'm like surrounded by all these people who are like jacked up, freaking fit, tall. They have like freaking long legs. They can like run like crazy. Then I'm here like I just passed 4 marks above the IPPT passing mark, and like I'm here. What is even happening? Like why did I like volunteer myself to do this? I didn't lah. So like it was one of the parades, right? And I almost wanted to like after we dismiss, I just walk into the offices, all of the office, and then be like, sir, I don't think I can continue. And by the way, if you tell them you don't want to continue, they will not let you continue. They will literally kick you out. Because this is OCS. This is not for people who cannot do it. So like yeah. So I didn't. Then after that we have a little talk with my officer. And then this is just a standard check. A chat with you and then see how you're doing and stuff. So I did tell them, I think we had a little chat, and then my officer was like, you're not here because of your physical attributes. You know that you're here because of your mind. You have the mind of a leader, you take lead, you help people. So you are here to train to be physically on par. So don't think that you're not a leader, because you know that you are. And I was like, oh my god, girl, slay. Okay, not like that. But then I was like, okay, no, I try. Okay, sure, I try. Okay, I give it a try. Okay. So I continued the thing. I remember towards the end of this 2 weeks initiation, I sprained my ankle. I sprained my ankle like a couple of times in army. The first time it was at OCS, and then so we were, I think, going for lunch already, but we had to form up a parade to do a parade to count attendance and stuff. Then I forgot some things I think like a thermometer or something, so I ran up to get. So when I was running back down, my platoon mate, ran up also. So we are at this corner, so at this corner. So I was running back down, he was running up. So at this point, we didn't see each other, right? We just boom! Oh my god. So this friend of mine, he's slightly bigger, okay? He's Yong Tat. Yong Tat is a giant compared to me. Like, not a giant, but he's big. When he ran into me and I ran into him, he didn't budge, okay? I flew back down to the ground, and he just continued running because he had to get something, right? He was like, no, I need to go and get my stuff. We're like having parade, everybody's waiting for me. And then by the time he ran down. He took his stuff and he ran down. Sorry, I was still limping my way down because I think I sprained my leg. Like a little bit, like a slight sprain. So it wasn't like a full sprain where I cannot walk. But then luckily it was close to the end of this initiation, so I can go back and rest a little bit. So I managed to complete service term, and I got posted into signals formation for my professional term. So it's like a specialization course, so you are an officer, but now you are a signal officer. So we were given the choice to list down the different specialization that we wanted. Yeah. So I got lucky enough that I got what I wanted, which is signals. And to be honest, I chose signal because it is less physically demanding and it's more on the brain. Yeah. You are required to do more studying, and understanding the signal plan and things like that. Yeah, a lot of calculations as well. I remember when we went to signals formation, we went to Brunei. So back then, I'm not sure if they still have it now, but back then, they will have this jungle orientation training for all the support formation. So signal is a support wing people like engineering, armor, we all had to go Brunei. It was hell, okay? So infantry, they will go through this thing called is it SOC job? I don't remember really, it's been so long, but it's like a jungle camp training, orientation training. It's crazy, okay? They are insane for doing it for 2 weeks in the jungle. For us, it was just a little taste, 2 days. So just a 2 days exercise in the jungle. But of course, I think it was 1 or 2 weeks, the entire thing. It's insane because the sandfly is freaking crazy, the mosquito is freaking crazy. At night, right, this jungle has no light pollution like Singapore. You cannot see your hands at all. And then I remember it was raining. I was wanting to kill myself, and that was the first time I used inhaler in my life. So when I went to army, I did tell them that I have childhood asthma, where there were too much dust in the room, and then I cannot really breathe. So I told them I had that incident. Then they gave me an inhaler for this exercise, just in case I needed to use it, I can use it. So there was once I went up. I was climbing up this freaking steep slope, like a mountain. By the end I went up, right, I was panting like a pig, okay, like a dog. Then I thought, oh, I have the inhaler, let's try to use it. It doesn't work. I don't know what did it do. I was still panting. But I guess apparently inhaler, that's not what inhaler does, okay? But it was an experience. It was crazy. But I wouldn't want to do it again. Yeah, no. But like looking back, it did like bond us a lot as section mates, as a platoon, when we just entered the signal formation. And like after 9 months, I commissioned as an officer. I graduated from staff team. I actually did a video on my commissioning parade. You can check it out over here. I think it's here. Should be here or here. Anyway, it'll pop out somewhere. And throughout my entire like NS journey, I managed to travel with like SAF 4 times. 2 times is secret. If you know, if you know kind of thing. And then 2 times is one is Brunei, and then one is Wallaby for Australia. When I was closer to my unit. But for the Wallaby exercise, I went as a NSF for a reservist unit. So I was there as a support. Yeah, I was there actually for like a videographer team. So they really have all the slots taken up for all the important roles. But they wanted me to go, so they were like, you can make video, right? Then you can help us make video in Australia. Then I was like, sure. So after OCS, I was posted to Sungai Gedong under the armor unit. It's also a secret unit, but basically I was supporting the armor formation. Yeah, that's why I became a dual vocational officer, so like a signal armor officer. And I was a Bronco in charge, so I'm in charge of the Bronco vehicle. I have the license. I don't think it's still valid. I mean, I have it, but I don't know whether I need to update one or not. Something. Being an officer when I graduated and commissioned, it's amazing. I freaking love it. The life was damn chill. Like, no regrets going through like 9 months of training and like 4 months of BMT. Like, I freaking love my life as an officer. Not to like be, but I still did treat my operators, my men, my sergeant, my company, everybody with respect. Yeah, I wasn't like high on like power like anybody else or like some officers out there, right? Like, I know everybody is just trying to get these 2 years of their life over with. So yeah, so I was like just enjoying the process. You know, you help me, I help you. Very chill kind of officer. Okay, I remember when I first got into the unit, I have my first room because there was just an empty room. So I love it. I have my own room. I used to cook in the balcony. I know fire hazard, but like I was pretty safe. Yeah. But then I think after a while, a new officer came in. Then I have to stay with my sergeant. Honestly, I don't like the sergeant. I think that the title, that rank, right? He was not deserving at all. I don't know if he's watching this. If he's watching this, he's a regular lah. So like some regulars really don't deserve their rank, but they just sign a form. They just sign a contract and they become a leader. Honestly, a lot of people in the company did not really like his presence. Yeah, so we did fought a little bit, like a very drama kind of thing. Anyways, I don't want to spill any tea about army, but then it's very much about managing people and their expectation, and exercising your EQ, emotional intelligence. But like, okay, you can say that it is kiss-ass kind of behavior, but then honestly, it is whatever you want to do for your greater good. Like it comes to a certain level where you have to balance both, being genuine and also kiss-ass. But of course, you overdo it, right? And then you come off as just pure annoying. People can tell. It is very much like in the real world, in an organization, but it's very hierarchical. But as an officer, I try to I try my best, to appease everybody. So like every day, every week, Friday, I would try my best to let the guys go at like 12 p.m. like after lunch, or 11:30. I think almost always we book out at that time, because it's like a win-win situation for everybody. Like if I book out at 12, you book out at 12:30, I book out at 1. Perfect. I'm not gonna let everybody stay until 5 on a Friday. Like, why do you want to stay until so long? Like, there's not much to do also. Once you finish your work, you can finish. If you can continue next week, continue next week. And of course, I was very closeted back then. Yeah, I didn't want like me being queer be an obstacle for me when I was in army. Know that there will be people who will not understand, and then they will treat me like otherwise. They will treat me like differently. Like they don't understand that I can be queer but also be a good soldier. It's like both of these things don't go along. I don't know why. And like for me, right, there's no infatuation. I'm not like liking anybody in army. Because I think I'm quite professional in the sense where I don't do that when I'm training. And when I became an officer, it became worse because I became someone of a rank. Okay, like except for one time now when I dated someone when I was training. But then that was different because we were all same rank, like we were all trainees. So, and that didn't really end well, so whatever. There was this once where I had a soldier that came out to the company. I'm not sure if I'm in the position to say the story, but I'll just make it very short. I did text him about it. I just told him that continue being yourself. Don't let this affect you. I know that everybody will be okay. I didn't tell him that I was part of the community, but then I just texted him to tell him that you'll be fine. I'm not sure if I told him about myself, he will feel better. I mean, of course, I think he will feel less lonely, but I didn't want that to affect how other people see me as well, because we were different ranks. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. Even though I didn't want to tell people, I was still being very much like myself. Like, I was still me, like 100%. And there will be people who ask, and then I'll be like, deny, say no, just say no. If you are watching this and you know that you are queer and you are enlisting into national service, I don't know what I can tell you, but like everyone's experience is different. I know of people who got bullied, who got mistreated when they came out to their section mates. But I also have heard of stories where people who were treated even like fairly, they got treated better, I guess, because they were more protective of him. But then I guess it's just a decision that you have to make. For me, I just wanted to experience army in the most normal way, and I wanted to experience it like how anybody else would, because I know of people who declare their sexuality when they went for the medical checkup, and then they got posted into admin roles. Yeah, I didn't do that. Like 2 years of my life, not for me. Yeah, and then there were also people that came out after they like halfway through. So I'm not really sure what kind of advice I can give it to you. You have to give me some context, I guess. I do want to say that the people that I came across in army, right, they are genuinely like very nice people. Like, of course, I have I have superiors and peers who are like low-key kind of homophobic, but then if you do your job well, if you do your job, they will not come and disturb you, you know? Even if they do, there's always a way to like go back at them, to tell them like, why are you doing this? Stop. And like, I think work is work. You don't have to interact with them. You just be professional and do your job. You know, you have to interact with them for work. You cannot don't interact at all. If they don't want to interact, then that's on them, you know. And like regarding bullying in army, I guess it is not uncommon or rare. But I think it's just like any school, organization, or like community, there will be bullying. It's about how you face it, how you go about treating the problem. So definitely go and find your friends, go and tell if your superiors, if you feel that it is safe to do so. You definitely want to talk about it with someone, like before it gets out of hand, to protect yourself as well. I think the good thing about national service is that they have like different phases for you to meet different people. So you have BMT, which is 2 months, and then you get posted out. And then for me, I went to OCS, that's 9 months, and I get posted out again to my unit, and then there's just 1 year. something like that. To look at it this way, you just have to face these mean people, your bullies, for like maybe 2 months, and then you get over it already. But of course, bullying is not right. So if it's too much, let somebody know. Find a way to let your feelings out. If you are feeling sad about things or angry, or maybe you want to file a official report or official complaint, or like have someone arrange a change for you. Say you want to change your company, or you want to change completely a different unit, something like that. I remember there was someone in my BMT that was, I think, kind of stressed. He couldn't handle the army life, I guess, and things got out of hand, so he decided, he don't want to do this anymore. And towards the end, we just don't see him anymore. He's not in my platoon, so I didn't really ask much. And it's not even about bullying. It can be about the training, it can be about the physical toll that you have on your body, that you cannot take it anymore, then you just give up. But of course, try. Know your limits. Like, I hope everybody has a pleasant experience in national service like me. Like, I genuinely enjoy NS. Really. There are times that I almost gave up, but I did pull through a little bit. And I managed to ORD. Yeah, yay, ORD. But then I still had to go back to service. Ugh, that's another story for another day. I got posted to guards. Now I'm a signal guards officer, which is insane. Like, I don't even train exercise like that much. I don't know why. Yeah, that's a story for another day. I would say that comes with a lot of privilege. Like, for me, my family, we don't have any financial burden. I don't have to share any financial responsibility with them. And then everyone is well and healthy. So I was pretty much independent in like NS, or they are very independent. So that comes with a lot of privilege, I guess. There was something that happened to me in NS. A little story time. So when I became an officer, we have to do like first parades or like last parade, and then for to take attendance and stuff. So for parades, right, generally you have to remove your watch. Any bands that you have in your hand, you have to remove them to do the first parade, because it's an official event. You have to remove everything that's like not supposed to be there. So I removed my watch. Okay, this is a Swatch watch from my brother. We just share watch, and then this watch he painted it himself using the paint. So it's very unique. Okay, one day after I did the first parade, I just went back into the office, and then I didn't wear my watch. Then after a while, I was like, I cannot find my watch. Then I went to ask the cleaning lady. I went to ask around the company. Nobody said they saw it. And then one fine day, I have this operator of mine who is in charge of mails, and then the ordering of mails and stuff from Coke House. So he came into the office. I was in my cubicle. We chat we talk about the thing, right? So we finished almost finishing. Then I look down on his hand. Tell me, why do I see my watch on his hand? Like, why are you wearing my watch or my brother's watch? So immediately I was like, that is my watch. I immediately just accused him of stealing. I was like, that's my watch. Then he was like, no, I got this on my own. Then I was like, no, that is my brother's watch. My brother painted it, hand painted all the paint stain that you see on the watch. And he's like, no, I bought it myself. We're going back and forth. Then he was like, no, but it's really my watch. And then he eventually, I think, like, kind of gave up. Then I was like, you want, you can take it all. Then I'm like, of course I want it back, it's my watch. So I just removed it from his hand. Then I was so angry back then. But then I'm not a very confrontational person. I'm not someone that will scream at you or shout at you just because I'm an officer, right, or a leader. Then after I removed it, I was like, okay, do you have anything else for me? Nothing, right? Okay, you can go. And then I remember my OC, my officer commanding, was sitting next to me while this whole interaction was going on. because we were going through something, I guess. After he left, right, I maybe because he's there, that's why I wasn't like flare up or like screaming. Like after he left, my OC just looked at me. What just happened? Then I was like, "Sir, remember I lost my watch. This is the watch that I'm talking about." Apparently he took it. Then he asked me, so what are you gonna do? Like, gonna charge him or what? I was like, I don't think so lah. No, I really got my watch back. I don't think I'm gonna charge him. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm petty as hell. I am gonna tell everybody about it. I went to tell my close like sergeants and like operators who were closer to me, and then I think they went to spread it around. And by the end of the day, everybody knew. And then it became a running joke. Okay, so whenever I asked the company or when we had to do exercises, I will ask like maybe what time is it? Then they will be like, oh, ask that guy, he got a new watch. Yeah, cause I think after that he went to get a new watch for himself. Then I'm like, stop disturbing him. I did spread the message around, but then I didn't allow that to become a bullying topic, I guess. Yeah, so like a lot of crazy things happened like during NS. I remember there was once I went drinking outside as an officer. Then I came back, right? I puked in the cab, and I was so scared that the cab driver like complained to SAF or like just go inside and complain to my officers. I paid $100. $100 for cleaning fees because I puked in his office. I puked in his cab. I mean, also it's my bad for puking in the cab, but it's like, oh my god, $100 for puking fees, cleaning fees. I mean, expensive. So there are a lot of things that happen in NS that some I can share, some I cannot share. I have a few illegal videos, illegal photos as well. Maybe I should put some here, like some legal and legal ones. So I have some photos of me in army, that is me in NS. Yeah. I have a lot of clips as well. We're now going back home.
So I'm just wondering where the hell he was. Hello.
So during army, right, I was a very big photographer and videographer because I have a DSLR and GoPro. So I will get approval from the camp to bring them in and then record for like maybe commissioning ball, for events, or for our own graduation. We just record videos, which was freaking fun because then I would like come out and have an excuse to not be part of the marching unit, so I can like just run out and just go to the front. Then I can like stop there and then record people walking past. Yeah, let's continue. Very fun, very fun. Maybe a little hack for you, if you want to slack a little bit, you can pick up the video IC. Okay, yeah, I think that's about it. It's kind of quite a short episode, I guess. I'm not sure. Let me see how I did. But yeah, let me know if you have any concerns, questions, or if you are just curious about national service. Let me know in the comments box, in the comment box, or you can just DM me. Okay. I hope I have shared enough for people who haven't enlisted to look forward to enlisting and look forward to your national service. I hope I did not scare you at all. Okay. Like I mentioned, just go in with an open mind. Maybe you'll be treated like a soldier, like a dog, like a human. You will never know. But just go in with an open mind, and if you really got mistreated, then you yourself have to go and judge. It's part of growing up. Yeah. I think NS is very important for everybody, for every man in Singapore. It really did teach you something. It does teach you something about life in general. Yeah, you will never know if you never try. So just give it a try. Yeah, and that's all for today. If you didn't learn anything from today's episode, I hope that you at least enjoy it. Thank you so much for tuning in. In the next episode, I will be talking about career changing in your mid-20s or in your 20s. I am not sure how I'm going to talk about it yet because I haven't really changed my. I did change lah. I'm still in the transitioning phase, so yeah, I can talk about that a little bit. If you are watching this on YouTube, please help me like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions or any tips for surviving national service. Yeah. If you are on Spotify, please help me rate 5 stars if you haven't already done so. And I shall see you next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Goodbye. Thanks for tuning in. Yay, commissioner! I did it. I finally did it. After 9 months of super tough training. As in for me, it wasn't difficult. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. I mean, those people who know me knows that I'm not fit. I'm not strong. I'm not healthy. I'm fat. I was fat. I was just not the person you think that will go in OCS. It's ridiculous the thing about it. But I actually did it. I did it 9 months.